Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to present one of the most fundamental challenges in the English as a foreign language classroom. How we can build speaking confidence in our students. Specifically, we will focus on overcoming the biggest barrier to fluency, the fear of making mistakes. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Rifki Sumahadijaya. My student number is 2025 747010, Magister of English Education Program, Faculty of Postgraduate, University of Indraprastha PGRI. Okay, here is presentation outline. The core problem, why students fear speaking, the impact of fear, understanding the consequences, paradigm shift, reframing the role of mistakes, actionable strategies, fostering a safe speaking environment, practical application, activities that build confidence, and the last one is conclusion and key takeaways. Okay, now it's about key issue. Why are students afraid to speak? The first is understanding the fear factor, psychological barriers, perfectionism and fear of negative judgment, low self-esteem or language ego. The second is educational conditioning. Classrooms focus heavily on grammatical accuracy, immediate and constant error correction. The third is social pressure, fear of ridicule from peers. This fear is not simply shyness, it is deeply rooted in psychological factors such as perfectionism, the desire to speak perfectly or not at all. This is exacerbated by educational conditions where grammatical accuracy often takes precedence over effective communication. Social pressure from peers also plays a significant role, creating an environment where students prefer silence to risk taking. The impact of fear, the vicious cycle of silence. Reduced participation, students remain passive and avoid speaking opportunities. Stagnant fluency development. Speaking skills cannot improve without consistent practice. Negative association. English becomes a source of anxiety, not a tool for communication. Lost opportunities. Inability to engage in authentic communicative situations. When students are afraid, they enter a self-defeating cycle. They avoid speaking, which means they don't get the practice they need. This lack of practice hinders their fluency development, which in turn reinforces their belief that they can speak English. Our job is to break this cycle. Paradigm shift, reframing the role of errors. A new perspective, mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are indicators of learning in progress. They provide valuable data for both the student and the teacher. The primary goal is communication, not grammatical perfection. Adopt a growth mindset. Emphasize effort and learning from errors. Strategy 1. Create a psychologically safe environment. Strategy 1. Cultivate a safe place for speaking. Establish a no-shame policy. Explicitly state that mistakes are welcome. Vulnerability model. As a teacher, admit your own mistakes, even in small ways. Promote peer support. Encourage positive feedback and collaboration over competition. Prioritize small group work. Discussions in pairs or small groups are less intimidating than presenting to the whole class. Strategy 2. Implement mindful error correction. Distinguish global versus local errors. Global errors impede communication and should be addressed gently. Local errors are minor grammatical slips that don't hinder understanding. Use delayed correction. Note down common errors during an activity and address them with the whole class afterward without singling out individuals. Encourage self-correction. Ask questions like, does that sound right to you? To empower students. How do we correct without discouraging? The key is tact. Focus on global errors, those that really interfere with understanding. For minor grammatical errors, consider deferred correction, not common errors while students are speaking. Then discuss them anonymously on the board later. This corrects errors without embarrassing students. Practical application. Activities that build confidence, confidence building activities. Low stakes tasks. Fluency first. Think, pair, share. Gives students time to formulate thoughts before speaking. Information gap activities. Focuses on completing a task, not perfect language. Creative and fun tasks. Lowering the affective filter. Role-playing and simulations. Allows students to become someone else. Storytelling changes, collaborative and playful. Gamification, board games or online quizzes that require speaking. This theory must be put into practice. Use activities that prioritize fluency over accuracy. Think, pair, share. It's a wonderful technique because it provides internal processing time. Task-based activities where the goal is to solve a problem naturally shift the focus from the language itself to completing the task. And never underestimate the power of play. It lowers the affective filter and makes speaking fun. Okay, now we are in summary and key points. The first is acknowledge fear as a real barrier. It is the teacher's role to actively dismantle it. Second is reframe mistakes, treat them as essential tools for growth. The third is prioritize a safe environment. Psychological safety is a prerequisite for risk taking. Next, correct mindfully. Focus on communication, not perfection. The last one is be patient. Building confidence is a gradual process. So, what should we remember? The first is acknowledge that students' fears are real and a significant barrier. The second is change the narrative around mistakes in your classroom. The third is make creating a safe environment your top priority. Make corrections thoughtfully, and most importantly, be patient. Building confidence is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.